you love Halloween, but you also love fall decor, and you maybe hang out somewhere in the middle, and you want things that are super easy to do, then you are going to love today's video. I'm Jamie, the crafty DIY guy. Welcome back to my channel. All right, everybody, I'm super excited about today's video. I can tell you that my absolute nightmare has happened. My craft room is an absolute disaster. As you can see, there's some stuff piled up here, and you should see what's on the other side of this camera because it is an absolute mess. There are 16 different DIYs in this video. Some of them are 100% Dollar Tree. All of them incorporate Dollar Tree for them. I think all of them do. Maybe one doesn't. But they're all super easy, and they're all perfect for fall and Halloween and that kind of transition period. So let's get into the video. And for this first project, we're going to take this spiderweb bowl that I found at Dollar Tree, as well as this candlestick. I have been waiting for these bowls to come back in. I missed them last year and have been wanting to do something like this for quite a while. I'm going to take some hot glue, and I'm just going to place a very generous amount here in the middle. Now, the bowl will not sit exactly flat on top of your candlestick, which is why I'm going to add a lot of hot glue on here. And then once that is all dry, I did take it outside, and I'm going to spray paint it my favorite matte black spray paint from Rust-Oleum. You could put a candle in this like I have with some decorative greenery, or you could put some Halloween trick-or-treats in it. And then, of course, this one, I just put my coffee pods in it. Now for this next project, we are going to take some Hot Wheels tracks that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I tried to find these 2-packs of the tracks, but couldn't find enough of them. So I ended up buying these single tracks. But now you're going to end up seeing, or at least in the video, you're going to end up seeing that I end up not using all the tracks, and I don't end up using these wood beads either. I do, however, end up using this piece of wood. Now, first thing you're going to want to do is just find the center spot of your wood square, and I'm just using a ruler and just kind of dragging my pen down there and kind of finding that center spot. I did put a screw in the middle of that and just kind of drill a hole in there, and this is a nut and a bolt, or I think that's what it's called. I unfortunately did not get one that was long enough, and this is the only size that I had. So the idea here was that I was going to be joining all 6 of these tracks together kind of like this. And as I was kind of going through everything, I would be creating this kind of pumpkin out of all of them. And by the way, I don't know what's going on with my footage here. My camera keeps messing up on me. So I just settled for a twofer instead of a 6er, but I think you kind of get the idea. If you had a long enough washer and bolt, or nut and bolt, you could totally do this. Now, I forgot, like a bonehead, to paint the base of this first. So I did just kind of go with a white. You could certainly paint this any color you wanted to. I originally was going to paint everything white, including the orange track, and I was going to glue those beads on there, but I ended up just kind of going with the orange because I really did like the orange, and I think the orange is kind of perfect for fall and kind of perfect for a pumpkin. Now you're going to go ahead and just kind of play around with the tracks and get them kind of round, or at least kind of rectangular. And then I'm going to add some wood pieces from Dollar Tree right on the top to kind of create a stem. And then I'm going to take these leaves and add it. I added a battery operated tea light. So cute. Really love the way that this turned out. Now, this next DIY is something that you could totally hang on the door. I really love the way that this turned out. I had this oversized kind of monogram letter and these great green and kind of natural color beads. I'm just going to create a quick strand of the beads. I love the green for fall, and I also love that kind of natural color. This is also something that you could absolutely use all year long. You could certainly change up the beads even if you wanted to. And we're just going to get a strand of beads, kind of, whatever size you really want. I just wanted to alternate my beads. And now I'm going to add my twine and some glue onto the base there, or onto the back side, I should say. And we're going to go ahead and hang this up on the wall. I love the way that this turned out, and it actually looks really, really cute on my front door as well. Now, this next DIY was definitely inspired by Hobby Lobby and also by Shannon over at the Daily DIYer. I loved this so much on her channel, and I have a kind of a leather leaf garland that I bought from Hobby Lobby last year, and I wanted to create something that would really complement it. And when I saw Shannon do this, I was really, really excited about it. So definitely check out her channel over at the Daily DIYer. I took my 2 different leather leaves and separated them. Then I just took them outside and spray painted some of them navy. Now I did switch up my twine. I'm going with just a regular twine here, and I'm going to snip the ends off of the leaves because you really don't need them. And we're going to just tie a very simple kind of loop at the end of this. That way, when we do hang up our garland, we have a place kind of for the hook. In my case, I have a brick mantle, so I have to have that little hook because I've got some clear little clips or little command strips on there. You're just going to take your clothespins and you are going to pin your leather leaves on there. And I'm just alternating because I took some of my leather leaves outside and I spray painted them navy. I took the kind of smaller leaf and painted it navy, and then I took some of the larger leaf and painted it navy. And with that navy and that leather color, it creates such a cool garland strand, and it's the perfect color combo for my mantle. I love this so much. And for this next DIY, we're going to take this cute little wagon I picked up from Target Dollar Spot, as well as these raffia pumpkins. The wagon, I think, was $5, and the little pumpkins were $1 each. I also have this hay bale from Dollar Tree, and the hula skirt that is from Dollar Tree. Cut this up into smaller pieces. By the way, huge shout out to Megan over at Glue Guns N' Roses for coming up with this idea. She shared this in one of her videos such a long time ago, and now every summer I always grab lots of hula skirts. Just simply add your hay bale and some pieces of the hay, and then we're going to arrange our pumpkins. Now, this one pumpkin that has this white stem, it was just bothering me. I don't know why they did that, but it was the only pumpkin that size and that color, so I just kind of went with the white stem. However, I did paint it. I used some antiquing wax and totally painted it into a brown stem. Now we're just going to take our pumpkins and arrange them. And then I took this thankful sticker, added it to the front, and you've got the cutest home decor for the fall. Now, talk about cuteness overload. This wreath is so adorable. I took these Dollar Tree pumpkin picks or stems and these mini wreath forms. I'm just going to end up using one of these. And then I grabbed these really cute trucks at Hobby Lobby. I love them so much. I want to add this blue one, and I also want to add some greenery via this garland stem. First thing you're going to do is just kind of take your pumpkins. You're going to cut them all off of the stems. You can certainly pull them if you wanted to, but I found that it kind of pulls the velvet if you do that. So just go ahead and snip them off, take the time. Now for this garland, I'm actually just kind of ripping apart. I'm pulling off these boxwood pieces. I did try and wrap it around the wreath form originally, but it was just kind of bulky. And I liked the way that the boxwood just kind of laid flatter on there, I guess. So some of the boxwood pieces have wire in them, and the ones that did have the wire remaining in them, I just twisted those around at various spots around the wreath form itself. And then for that little truck, I did add a piece of green tape on the back there. I added some glue, and then I added another piece of tape, and the truck is in place. Now for the pumpkins, I'm going to take these little velvet pumpkins and just kind of alternate them, different sizes, not different shapes, just different sizes, different colors, and just kind of work my way all around the wreath form. And when it is done, it creates the absolute cutest wreath I have. I wish that this wreath would be like a giant adult size one, if that even makes sense, because it is so cute. I absolutely love this so much. And I kind of want to make a giant one for my front door. And by the way, you may have been noticing my work surface here. This is a silicone crafting mat that I picked up on Amazon. It is linked in my description box below in my Amazon store. Nothing sticks to this. Hot glue, chalk paint, stain, everything will come out of this. All you have to do is add some cleanser, wipe it off, and you have a clean work surface to start your next project with. Definitely check it out. Now, for this next DIY, I'm using this palette that I picked up from Dollar Tree in the Plus section. I also grabbed this great stencil. This was from Hobby Lobby, and it came with two different kinds. Now, this truck stencil, I loved it, and I needed to use it. Now, I'm just going to add some antiquing wax to my board and get that the kind of color and the shade that I want. And then I am going to just kind of continue to rub it until it gives the color and the kind of contrast that I want. Definitely want to get those sides and those edges. Use a little paintbrush if you need to kind of get into those cracks. I did use my heat gun as well, just to kind of continue to let this dry. And then for that stencil, I just taped it down with my green tape here. And I'm out of my stenciling brushes, so I'm using a washcloth. It's an old washcloth, and I'm just kind of making sure that I'm doing it very slowly. I'm kind of going up and down and not trying to drag it left to right. And just being very patient with it. Now, as I'm kind of doing this, I'm just kind of holding different parts of the stencil down, just to make sure that it doesn't shift around and move around until I've got the color that I want. I am going to take my heat gun and just kind of, speed up that drying process just a little. And then when I remove the stencil, as you can see, I've got the cutest little sign here. I'm loving it. Now I am going to add a little floral spray at the bottom. I'm just kind of cutting these pieces of wheat. I'm going to cut that metal kind of piece out of it and that just kind of pick them off of the stem. And then I'm just going to start gluing these down into a little spray underneath my truck. I was super happy with the way that this turned out. I think that this is so cute. I love the stencil size. I also love the sign. Again, the stencils came from Hobby Lobby and the sign came from Dollar Tree Plus. How cute is this? I also added some wood beads to the handle just to kind of give it a little bit more personality. You will absolutely die when you see how easy it is to turn these LED lanterns into solar lights. The pumpkin just kind of snaps apart. Take that light, put it aside, take your little pumpkin guy, snap him back together, and one of these Dollar Tree solar lights fits perfectly down inside of your pumpkin. Now you're going to want to remove that yellow tab just to make sure that your light works, and you've got the absolute cutest solar light that you are ready to put outside. Now, this is one of those motion activated ones. It's quite annoying. So I did remove that as well, and then I just took this one and glued it down right on top, and boom, you've got two of the cutest solar lights for next to nothing. Now, speaking of lights, we're going to turn this clear vase into a light with some Mod Podge, some string lights from Dollar Tree, and some napkins. Cut your napkins into some strips and then into smaller squares. We're going to take our glass vase here, and we're just going to add some Mod Podge to it, and then we're going to add our pieces and our squares to it. You can do this in strips, you can do it in squares, you can crinkle it up, let it dry for 24 hours, and then test your batteries out and your lights out with some batteries. Make sure that they work. Go ahead and uncoil your strings. Then you're going to drop that battery pack right down inside of that. It's great because it does come out really easily. Take your light string and just kind of feed it down into the vase, kind of like so, and you've got the absolute cutest accent lamp for your fall decor. Now, another creepy little light that we can make with some Dollar Tree finds is going to be this little lantern here. I'm going to take these, they're not really skeleton hands. I'm going to call them zombie hands. And we're going to create just kind of a spooky looking lantern. Now, I did use just a little bit of chalk paint here in this bright red. We're gonna call it blood red, and we're gonna take the fingers of those little hand pieces and dip the fingers in there, and then we're going to kind of make it look like, you know, there's some blood and they're trying to crawl up and maybe grab the lantern out of your hand here. And we're gonna take these hand pieces and we're just going to glue them onto the sides and kind of match them up with those fingerprints that we're creating. Now, I'm going to do this all around the lantern here, and some of them you can even take and you can cut them down, and obviously be careful with that. And then once again, just kind of painting those tips, and then adding some black ink chalk paint to the hands, and just kind of aging them a little bit more. And you've got kind of a creepy looking little lantern here. I think this is so cute for Halloween. Now, this next one is kind of a creepy DIY as well. We're going to use some of that leftover chalk paint that I had, that leftover blood, if you will, and we're going to take these clear chopping mats. Now, I need a inspiration, so I'm going to use my hand. We're going to take this chalk paint, and yes, I am painting my hand because I am covering my hand in blood. And we are using a combination of that brush that had the black ink chalk paint on it, as well as this red, which is why you kind of see some of the black in there and some of the darker pieces. And you're going to want to go ahead and coat a pretty thick amount. Now we're going to just take our handprint, and we're going to take our hand rather, and we're going to create a handprint on that chopping mat. Now, I did wash my hands, and then I did it with my other hand, as you can see here, and it creates two little blood splattered handprints on those clear chopping mats. And then after it dries, you're going to cut those out, and you are going to have a very creepy DIY that I will show you a little bit. Bats. I found more of the wood bats. If you saw my last haul, you know that I wanted to find some of these locally. I grabbed these when I was in Denver, and I was able to find 4 more. So I took them outside. Very, very simple. Spray painted them with some black matte Rust-Oleum spray paint. Look at my fireplace. I'm sorry, I just snorted too. I don't know if you heard that. I love the way this turned out. Those bloody handprints look so cool on the fireplace, and I love the way the bats are coming up out of the fireplace. You may have noticed my little ghost friends that were in the fireplace there. These are from Dollar Tree. I just simply bought 5 of them, and I added them inside of my fireplace. And when it's all said and done, you've got the cutest little fireplace kind of creation here. Now, for this next DIY, I'm going to use this wreath form and these flowers. I bought 9 of these. There were 3 different color combinations, so I bought 3 in each one. And we are going to take them all from the pots, and then we're going to take these stems and we are going to trim them down just a little bit. Now, once I've trimmed all of those stems down, by the way, I'm using my lineman pliers here. If you don't have a pair of lineman pliers, they make doing florals and wire cutting and things like that so easy. It is super fluid. You can also find this in my Amazon store below. Now, for those leaves, I am going to be adding just a little bit of hot glue because I do want to make sure that those leaves are kind of staying on those stems. Because you are cutting down the stems kind of close, you don't want those to slide off. So go ahead and just take the time and glue those down as well. And then for the wreath form, you're just going to take your wreath form. I flipped it over upside down, and we are going to take our flowers here. I don't know if these are moms or what are these. Let me know in the comments below if you know what these are. But I thought they were pretty. And and that's what we're going with, these pretty flowers. So you're just going to take them and you're literally straddling your wreath form, and then you're going to add some hot glue. And when you add the hot glue on the backs of this, you are then going to just kind of push your wreath form down. And when you do that, you've got everything that's going to really get nice and solid on there. Now I just took my flowers and just kind of fluffed them up a little bit, worked my way around. And then I added this black and white bow because this is going to be for my neighbor and she loves buffalo check. Now this next DIY is something that my mom has definitely kind of inspired me from. I'm grabbing these pumpkins, some styrofoam, and this old rusty truck. Now this truck was something that my mom got me for Christmas. It had a really cute Christmas tree in the back of it. And then just being outside, the weather has kind of got to it. And then I added some antiquing wax, kind of roughed it up or rusted it up a little bit. And now I'm going to add my foam blocks. Now I'm keeping them in the plastic because, believe it or not, it will actually be a little easier to remove those when I do want to decorate this up for Christmas. Now go ahead and add your foam blocks in the back of kind of whatever vehicle you've got. And then again, we're pulling out the hula skirt. Hello, Megan, once again from Glue Guns and Roses. Definitely check out her channel. I'm sure you all know who she is already. And we're going to add some straw into the back of that. I'm going to add some glue right on top of those blocks just to help keep that straw down because this is going to eventually sit out on my front porch once again. And then I'm going to add my hay bales from Dollar Tree. If you can grab these hay bales, I recommend grabbing like 5 or 6 of them if you can. Glue those in the back of your truck, and then we're going to start adding our pumpkins. I went with all of these kind of burlap colored pumpkins, and when I'm all done, I've got the cutest little rusty old pickup truck that I can use for Christmas and other holiday seasons to come. All right, everybody, let me know in the comments below what you thought about today's videos. Also, let me know what your favorite project was. Now, for me, I'm super excited because a lot of these, as you can probably tell, are going to be very transitional. You can kind of use them throughout the year and definitely into the Christmas season coming up. If you would do me a favor, definitely like this video. Also subscribe to the channel and remember to hit that notifications bell. That way, every time I upload something, you will be notified. If you are one of my long-term subscribers, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you guys. And I'm looking forward to bringing you a lot more content very soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.